Okay guys, I'm gonna make one more thing and I didn't realize it took so much time to do this. So I'm gonna make one more thing and in hopes that this will help you, give you some variety, give you something interesting to make that will get you, keep you satisfied this week. So I want to let you know that what I'm about to make you can consider a purple container. However, what I've done is I've used my other containers to measure the amount that I'm allowed to have. The reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want to use more of an ingredient than I'm allowed to. For example, if I'm only allowed to use a blue container full of avocado, then I don't want to use a whole avocado for something. I want to use just that half to make whatever it is I need to make that I'm allowed to have for the day. And the reason why is because you don't really want to eat over what you're allowed to for your plan, because the plan is designed for you to get certain amounts of food and certain types of food. So what I'm going to prepare right now is something that you can put in your purple container, but what I'm going to use to make it is all within my daily budget of food that I'm allowed to have for the day, okay? So what I'm going to make are some cinnamon covered apples that I can add to oatmeal if I want to, or I can add to other things. But specifically, I'm going to make this because I would want to have it in oatmeal. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select and cube a couple of apples. You can choose whatever apples you want. I prefer apples that are sweet. I know that there's the green apples that are a little more sour, a little more tart, but I prefer something that has a little more sweetness. So I chose these Fuji apples, and they were actually reasonably priced. So I got some of these, and I went ahead and I cubed them, and I put them in a bowl and I set them to the side. So the next thing I want to do is I put a little bit of coconut, and this I bought today. I put some of this shredded coconut and I filled it into my little orange container. So that's going to be what I have for the day. So make sure if you're going to make something like this, make enough so that you can set them aside. But I'm only going to take from here. I'm not going to use a whole lot either. I'm just going to use a little bit. I also have cinnamon. Now cinnamon is free. You can have as much cinnamon as you want throughout the day. So I like cinnamon because it really gives your food a really nice flavor. And I'm also going to use a little bit of orange rind because that's going to give it another kind of flavor that's really nice. So now we're allowed 2 teaspoons for the day. I only have half a teaspoon, and I'm going to use my coconut oil because the coconut oil, I believe, is better for cooking fruits, cooking things that are a little more sweet. Although you can use it for a lot of different things. But I'm only going to take a half a teaspoon because I really don't like to use a lot of oil anyway. That's one thing that I have found, that as I've started this program, I really don't need that much oil and I'm okay without it. Okay, so I went ahead and added a little coconut oil to my hot pan, and I'm going to go ahead and spread it around. I'm going to make sure that I evenly coat my pan. Okay, and as that's kind of getting heated and getting going, I'm going to take some cinnamon and I'm going to add it to my apples. Okay, it's better to do it in the bowl instead of doing it in the pan. I used to do it in the pan. I would add the apples and then the cinnamon, and then parts of it would get burnt, and then that would be uneven. So I'm just going to add the cinnamon to the apples and make sure they're nice and evenly coated. They smell so good. If you guys try this, I just lost an apple, but if you guys try this, it's really good. It's very tasty, and it does satisfy this need to have kind of like a desserty type fruit or the dessert type flavor, but without all of the bad stuff. So anyway, now that I've evenly coated my apples, I'm going to add them to the pan. So they're getting a nice little sizzle going, and what you're going to do is you're just going to brown them all over. You want to flip them around a little bit. This is something I actually learned that I got pretty good at, is flipping. And you just gently shake your pan And you can make those apples fly up and down. Okay, so I'm done showing off there. So then what you're going to do is you're going to get a little bit of coconut. You don't have to get too much. I would not use too much. It's just for flavor. You want to get a variety of flavors going. And then you're going to sprinkle some on your apples. I did about 3 pinches, and I think that's plenty. So then I got my little grater, and I have my orange. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grate some of the orange skin or some of the orange rind onto the apples. Now that smells really good, you guys. That's very, very, very fragrant. And you're gonna find that when you're making food that smells really good, that's gonna be a part of how you enjoy your meals now. Because it's not only fragrant, it has a really natural taste. It doesn't have all the artificial sweeteners in it, and it's really gonna satisfy. It's gonna satisfy you for the day, I promise. So I'm going to keep mixing this through. Now, normally what I like to do is have my apples soft. You know, I don't like to have them too soft, but I also don't like to have them crunchy. I want them to feel like I'm eating like apple pie or something like that. They smell really good. Now, as you can see here, they're starting to soften just a little bit. I barely put them on the heat, so I'm probably going to leave them on there just a little bit longer. But I'm going to let them continue to cook, and as soon as they get just a little bit softer, I'm going to go ahead and take them off because I don't want them to get so soft and squishy that I can put like the whole container into one little purple container. You don't want to overfill it with a bunch of mushy fruit. So once that's made, you can set that to the side, or you can put that in your container for the day. And the next morning when you decide to have some oatmeal for breakfast, you can heat that up in a pan or in the microwave, whatever you have time for, and you can add it to your oatmeal, which you already also have flavored with other ingredients. And so when you put all of those flavors together, it tastes so delicious. So guys, give it a try. Let me know what you think. If you think that there's something you could do to the recipe to make it more interesting, let me know. I would love to hear your feedback. This is my first little cooking video, and I hope you like it, guys. I feel really silly doing it, but you know what? Whatever, it's fun. All right, guys, I will check in with you in a little bit.